Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Good morning.
Happy Monday after a holiday.
Thankfully, the holiday was on Saturday, technically.
Yes,
You know
that's
what I mean?
so sad because, how rare is it to actually have a Saturday night, 4th of July,
Right.
and then there's really not a 4th of July, kind of, somewhat. I know usually there's like 4 nights of, fireworks for, all the different areas. So did they still do any of the shows? Just not.
There was nothing that I knew of, although someone said they thought that Viera might have done something, although it wasn't come to the park and see it. I don't know. I was in Merritt Island, but I have to tell you, all the private fireworks that people had was like unbelievable. I mean, it wasn't like the dinky, horrible nothings. It was like, so where I was in Merritt Island, like there was somebody on every side of us who was doing fireworks. So it was a full on show.
Now I noticed, and I just noticed the last couple of weeks, just if I did go out in town, like all the tents for fireworks. And this is my first time up here, so I don't even know like what to expect or what's normal, what's not. But I know like all the gas stations had these huge tents of people selling the fireworks, and that's what I thought. I'm like, people are just going to be going crazy at home, which that's kind of scary too. I don't know. I maybe because the crazy stuff that Leah's done in the past that always is a little crazy, but it wasn't so bad in the country. I mean, definitely all down the street. It was kind of nice. I wish I would have been able to. I just wanted to be able to sit outside and kind of watch because I had them all over, just everywhere. But oh my gosh, Zeus is just ridiculous. So I try to go outside for like 5 minutes and he's like whining and scratching at the door. And I was like, okay. Like, he was just driving me nuts. And I wasn't sure what it would be like up here. And I wasn't sure, with all the cattle and farms, I wasn't sure how many people would actually do that kind of stuff. Because to me, that's a little, I mean, I have cows in my backyard. So like, there's so many different, I'm like in such farmland. I wasn't sure if people would do that kind of thing. But
Right. But they did, yes.
yeah. Oh yeah. There was, I mean, a couple of 5-minute breaks trying to watch it, but I could hear them everywhere and they were beautiful. I mean, it was crazy how like real they were. I was really wanting to, I mean, I from what I've heard, Knoxville puts on like a huge show, like downtown. My little Hallmark town that has like one flashing light does a huge parade every year. And I'm surprised because they didn't cancel it. So they still had a huge parade. They had all, vendors and all this kind of stuff throughout the day. And then at night was still the fireworks.
Wow.
But, I mean, I didn't go, but I mean, I've seen videos from the past and I'm like, I live in this like little Hallmark town. Why would they do a parade? But apparently it's a really big deal and it's one of the biggest in the entire area from
Cool.
what I've seen. So I don't know. That was pretty cool. And don't forget, comment, how was your 4th of July? And today's an interesting show because it really seems to be a hot topic, even though the, coming soon came out, November 1st or something?
Yep, November.
And here we are in July, although from November to now, everything's pretty much been a blur.
I think, honestly, what happened was it was like it came out in November. People were just kind of getting into it. And then it was Christmas and Hanukkah and New Year's. And then it was the New Year. And so people were just kind of figuring it out. And then COVID. So then nobody was doing anything. And now it all seems to be, I mean, it is like a daily question for me. I feel like daily question for me about coming soon and what clear cooperation means. So we figured we'd talk about that today since it's coming up so often. So back in November, NAR, and just so everybody understands, NAR comes out with rules that we all, if they are mandatory, have to adopt. So if you're looking in our MLS rule book and you see the little letter M at the end, That is a required rule. We have no choice. We can't change it. We can't do anything different than what that rule says. Now, as a result, you can enact different rules that sort of work in conjunction. So the clear cooperation rule is, and this is designed, just so everybody understands, to which is what the MLS is all about, which is the cooperation of agent to agent or brokerage to brokerage and the sharing of commission. So NAR enacted a rule because there was a lot of people doing coming soon or not letting other agents see their property and saying, this is coming soon and only agents in my team can see it, but they were advertising it to the general public. So the clear cooperation is within 1 business day, and this is important, 1 business day. So when you had a holiday like this weekend, technically, if you advertised it on Thursday, you didn't have to have it in the MLS until Monday. Okay, so within 1 business day of marketing a property publicly, it must be in the MLS. So having said that, that does not say it has to be an active listing. It just says it has to be in the MLS, which is why SCAR then enacted the coming soon rule. So coming soon, in effect, puts the listing into the MLS. So you've satisfied the clear cooperation. But now, because it's coming soon, you can only market it as coming soon. And it gets all sorts of confusing, and I get it, because that's really the questions that I get all the time. So if you market it publicly, or if you don't, you can put it in coming soon right away, and then you can start to market it. Coming soon will only be disseminated to other MLS members. So say, for example, I put something in coming soon, it will go out to everybody in the MLS, but it will not go out to the public. So the only way it goes out to the public is if you have somebody set up on a like a listing cart type thing. And so if you have someone set on a listing cart and you've clicked coming soon to go to their email, then they will get the coming soon listing. Now, our rule with the Flex MLS is that property may not be shown. It may not be shown until it's active. So once you start showing it, then you're potentially subject to the fine. But then how are how is that policed? Well, the MLS and the board is self-policing, meaning we do have a data checker and we do have people that work at the MLS that do check things, but we're generally self-reporting, which means another agent has to report you. So say you put up a sign, let's use this as an example. You put up a sign on Wednesday, and now it's marketed to the general public. It needs to be in the MLS by Thursday. And I'm going to use last week as the example.
Active, not coming soon.
It could, yeah. Well, once you start marketing it to the general public, this is where I start to get a little confused and kooky about it. So, coming soon status, the listing coming soon. Let me just look at it and clarify it, because I hate to say, because you can put it out there as long as it says coming soon.
Right. So if you had a sign and it said coming soon,
correct.
That's like the way I read it is
correct.
You can kind of advertise or market as a coming soon, but do not show it.
Correct.
Or you'll
as long as it's in the MLS. So say your sign, let's give an example, because sometimes your sign guy puts your sign up early. And it happened to me the other day. And I saw the sign and I thought, oops, if I get reported, that's probably not a good thing. So I made myself
probably not.
So if you say your sign guy puts the sign up on Wednesday, and we'll use last week as an example, and it doesn't say coming soon, it needs to be in the MLS as active on Thursday.
What if you put a coming soon writer on it?
Then you're okay as long as it's in the MLS as coming soon.
Right. Definitely coming soon, because that's where, and even looking at the different forms, even the one I think that your sellers have to sign, it says it will not be going on the internet.
Correct.
But yet most, Zillow has the coming soon. Most website platforms offer the coming soon. So I don't know if that's saying it won't be like syndicated through the
Correct.
MLS,
It
but
means it won't.
I can put it as a coming, as long as I put coming soon, I feel like it's okay to advertise and market it as long as it says coming soon and as long as I don't show it
Correct.
to anybody else.
Correct. So, and Zillow did away with their coming soon.
Okay, I was wondering about that just because I wasn't 100% sure.
That was probably 3 weeks ago. I think they did away with like the manual entry of the coming soon. Now, I don't know that they won't change that, but I think that had something to do with, because now they have a brokerage. And so they didn't, it gets very gray area there. So as long as but say, for example, your sign guy put the sign up on Wednesday and you are not planning on making it active till Monday, but you don't have a coming soon rider and you don't have it in the coming soon, you better hope that the guy that doesn't like you doesn't see that sign, snap a time-stamped photo of it and submit it to the MLS. Now, if they took it on Thursday, you have until Monday to get it in the MLS. So there are
Friday was
around this. Yeah, there are ways around this. But
so if I put a sign up, so let's just keep using the example, Friday was a holiday.
Yep.
So would I be able to do an open house on Friday or Saturday if I, everything's Thursday and then it goes active on Monday? Or is that like a super gray area? Just don't do it.
My suggestion would be to just not do it. And I'm just reading through the coming soon rules. I believe the way it reads is if you do, it has to be within 24 hours. So could you skirt the rule? Yeah, I think you could, but the fine is pretty hefty. So to me,
it's $1,000 your first offense and $3,000
your second. And then I believe 5 for the third, and then your rights to the MLS might be revoked. So to me, I don't understand. This is the thing. I don't understand the purpose of doing it that way. We all know, or we think, and I think most of us say that the open house isn't really selling your house. Right. I know that there are some agents who are super successful with it. We used to have Pat Murphy who worked here. She moved to North Carolina. She was super successful with double ending and doing open houses, right? But if your goal is to really sell the property and get the best price for your seller, because that's your goal as the listing agent, then why would you host an open house that's kind of marketed but not really, and try and skirt the rule when you could put it in the MLS as active and put it out to all 4,400, yes, I said 4,400 members of the MLS, and giving your seller the opportunity to have so many more potential buyers, especially now when we're seeing multiple offers, highest and best. Why would you want to limit that if your job is to do, the best thing for your seller? And I know sometimes sellers are like, well, I don't want to be showing it for a month. In this market right now, if you put it on the market and you have it priced right, they're going to be showing it for 24 hours and they're going to have offers. They just
spend a weekend somewhere, say
right. Let me show your house all weekend long. Let's get our 7 offers and do highest and best, which that's a whole nother topic. And we did escalation clause last week, but that's been a little bit crazy too. So I would just make sure. Well, and so then your other option is, so here's the thing with the coming soon. Coming soon has to go active within 21 days. So if we're trying to, we meet with the seller, but they're not ready until September, but we want to lock down the listing and have them sign a listing agreement now, you sign the listing agreement and you sign the exclusion form. There's one exclusion form and it has both types of exclusions, the temporary and the permanent. Very few of us use the permanent, which means they never want it in the MLS. So that you would use the temporary for however long you think. They say, let's do it September after Labor Day. Do the temporary exclusion till then. As you're getting closer, I would add in the coming soon, so that once you get the pictures and everything, if you want to cause a buzz, put it in as coming soon. But what I've done recently, my last 3 listings, and it's worked really well, is I put it in at like 5 o'clock, whatever night it is, Thursday night, Friday night, but I've done both of those nights. By 8 o'clock, I have appointments for the next day. And so that's sort of creating the buzz. So if you put it in the MLS around 4 and have showings the next day, then you'll get that quick buzz as well, rather than a week long of coming soon. I'm personally not a huge fan of it, because you do get the phone calls from agents. Can I show it? Can I show it? Can I show it? Susie Q, let me show hers. And it's like, well, Susie Q might get the fun.
She's rich and likes that fine.
So I would just say try and, or not try and stay away from doing something that'll get you in trouble.
No, for sure. And I just know it's been like a huge hot topic, and, just with how they can kind of use that gray area. But I mean, it seemed pretty clear that as long as I'm saying coming soon,
you're saying,
like, can I just share the photographer's photo, or maybe a teaser photo, like, oh, this is so beautiful, I can't wait, stay tuned.
But don't do that if it's not in the coming soon portion of the MLS. So I've been seeing a lot of that. I've also been seeing a lot of, this is another great area. There's a stager who's posting, this is coming soon, and then she'll say the agent's name, and then the agent will engage in conversation. Well, that stager can post that stuff because she's not subject to the MLS. But once the agent becomes engaged and involved in that conversation, I don't know how gray that is, and so maybe if your stager or your photographer is doing that, that's one thing, but maybe you shouldn't be involved, or you should say, wait until you have it in coming soon. Because and I have to tell you, because of COVID and because people are not leaving their house that much and they have a lot of computer time on their hands, people are reporting people left and right.
I believe that.
Yeah.
Just from different groups I've been, people have way too much time.
Yep. So, and I find myself doing it too, almost. And I'm like, oh God, stop. I'm not that person. But I am doing it with our agents as well, where I'll see them do something, and then I immediately go to the MLS to see if they have it in coming soon. And then if they don't, then I'll send them a little reminder. Make sure you get this in coming soon, because now it's out to the public and it has to be in there.
So that's really the biggest key is, one, if you're going to share your photographer or stagers or basically if you're going to put it out there in any form, it needs to be in the coming soon. So you have to have that signed by the seller.
Correct.
It has to be in there. Once you advertise it or try to show it, it better be active.
Yep.
You have basically one day, $1,000 for the first time you don't comply, $3,000, and then it goes up, and it's just not worth it. What other? I mean, I would just almost like when you're marketing it, definitely make sure the coming soon's really big, or say, I mean, I've just been not even putting an address, just
right.
Say for, I don't know. It's just such, I think people are doing the rules, or at least from the comments from, all the different groups where they are posting. And I guess, I don't know if every MLS is a little different.
They are. Well, so that's the thing. Many MLSs don't have a coming soon rule. So
but NAR has the rule. So
NAR's rule just says, NAR's rule is not about coming soon. NAR's rule is about if you advertise it, it has to be in the MLS. NAR doesn't specify active or coming soon. So if you don't have a coming soon rule, like I saw one of our friends on the West Coast post, and she said, coming soon. Yes, I know it needs to be in the MLS by tomorrow. They don't have a coming soon rule.
Okay, so by us having that coming soon, it kind of gives us that 21 days to kind of put stuff out that it's coming soon, just don't go show it. So that's
correct. And a lot of people are like, well, why do we even have the coming soon thing? That's the reason. It gives us an opportunity to at least do some marketing of it, create a buzz, and hope that day one, once it goes out there as active, it's you get the multiple offers. So, I mean, if we didn't have the rule there, if you posted something on Facebook or anywhere as coming soon, it would have to be active the next day.
Gotcha. But because it is in the MLS under coming soon,
right,
with that sign,
it meets the requirement of in the MLS.
Yeah. Gotcha. But that MLS, and I know a lot of people they weren't sure because they're like, but it's not, I put it in there. Why isn't it on my website or on Zillow or Realtor.com?
It's not IDX. There's no IDX. So it's
only members of the board,
correct,
that have access to the MLS. They will see it. You can send it to clients, I believe.
Correct. Yes.
But it's not on the public SCAR, like searching. Which
correct.
It doesn't get syndicated.
Yeah.
To all the websites until it goes active, and then it'll syndicate and do what it normally does on an active listing.
Correct. So let me just tell this funny story real quick. I had working with a buyer, a friend of mine. I sold her house in a couple of years ago. She's moving back to town. She when she first started looking, she must have clicked on something, signed up with another agent, blah blah blah. So. And this is funny, an agent in our office posted something in our private group, which you're allowed to do that as well, our private group, because everything falls under our brokerage. So you can put it in our private group. He posted a thing and I thought, oh, this will be good for her. And I asked him, can I kind of just sneak in and look? That way I'll know. And because I'm the broker, I'm allowed to do that. So anyway, so it wasn't for her. But what was funny is she later, I was going to see it on Thursday. On Wednesday, she says, what about this one? And she sends me the address. And I go, where did you see that? And I'm thinking that the agent in our office kind of put it somewhere that he shouldn't have, but he didn't. She got it from the other agent she had captured her on the internet because it was in the coming soon section of the MLS, and that other agent had sent it to her. Well, then my buyer panicked. She's like, oh, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, and I wasn't cheating on you. I'm like, relax, it's all good. I just wanted to know where you saw it. And so she had gotten it from that other agent through the coming soon.
Okay. So I mean, I think that's a great rule, and it's great for the advertising. I think the biggest thing is, yes, when you're sharing those, or if you have somebody that helps you with your marketing or anything like that, just make sure that if it's a coming soon, that you do have it in the coming soon section of the MLS with that signed agreement that has to be attached. We do have. We have the blog.
Okay.
That is on, and I will put that in the comments here. So that way, and it has a bunch of links that are from SCAR and all that, just some, I think it's the exclusion, like the sheet that you have signed, and that was when I started to get a little bit more confused. Like, yes, the rule seemed pretty understandable, but then reading language on the actual paperwork and some of the other quick things that they've sent out, that's where I started or if you talk internet, and I'm like, but the other thing says you can, as long as it says coming soon, I'm getting confused.
Well, that was a big hullabaloo with the board as well. When we had our winter meetings, you had to adopt the NAR clear cooperation rule in April. When we had the NAR winter meetings in February, I went to the MLS committee meetings just to hear about the rule, and they were very clear. It just has to be in the MLS. And then they didn't say another word from FAR, kind of, which meant it could be coming soon, it could be something else, as long as it's in the MLS to be shared with the other agents. So anyway,
that's good.
Yeah. So what's interesting, or what's funny, is we're seeing a lot of things on Facebook. And so with people with different MLSs, different rules, different things. So it all depends on that. So I think that that sort of leads me into, a lot of us are on social media and Facebook, and seeing people post things, and I just, if I see something controversial, I just try to just scroll past it and not engage. So but the big thing in our motivation for the week is about tolerance, acceptance, and understanding. So, remember that when you're posting on Facebook or Instagram, or seeing people do things that may not be what you would do or what you like, just remember to be tolerant, be accepting, and think about how tolerance and acceptance are being played out today in your own life. It's interesting, and we know this. We all have a lot of different political views and social views, and that doesn't stop us all from being able to be friends and get along, and
we know, even with all the COVID, I mean, I probably post way too many pictures of my dogs and this little kitten, but I don't know. There's just so much, whether it be, politics, or to wear a mask or not, or just all the craziness, and it just gets so ugly. So I'm just like, the thought of the week is really using your voice for kindness, using your ears for kindness, using your arms for charity, your mind for truth, and your heart for love. I don't know. I just try to be mindful. I mean, I think that word has been such a big key. Try to be a leader.
Yep.
And be uplifting, and just everything. There's so much craziness going on. I mean, we don't need more. I mean, I just try to stay away. I love people, and I may not agree with what, I just stay away, keep going.
Yeah. Just scroll past it. No need to comment. Just don't engage and post more puppies and kitties, honestly. Or houses you're selling. I mean,
I just, try to be, try to keep it positive and passionate. I think if you are doing that, and be purposeful, I think you can't really go wrong with that, and just not to engage with different things. I mean, if we were all the same, it would be super boring. But I just try to stay away from all the craziness. But
exactly.
And then your ending thoughts. What should we? I want to know what the big thing would be for next week. My ideas may be, getting listings, or winning. How to win your offer. Putting together great offers. Because
I think maybe that's how to put together a great offer, and as a listing agent, how to guide your seller in what to do in a multiple offer situation.
Because I think we have the Mike Ferry listing thing is this week, right?
Correct. So it's Tuesday and Wednesday from 12 until 3. Unfortunately, I can't give everybody the login. It's one login per person, because it's something that you pay for, and it's something that you would have done live, but now they're doing it there. So I'll be streaming it in the training center in the Suntree office from 12 until 3 on Tuesday and Wednesday. So that'll be interesting.
So maybe we could do like a recap on something like that. And
yep, I think that sounds good. We'll see what Mike Ferry has to say. And he is, the, I don't know if I want to say the guru, but he's one of the first that was coaching and training. And
yeah, I'm very anxious to see what he has to say. But until next week, wake up, kick ass, repeat. And put your comments below. We want to hear your feedback, especially, next week. Watch that, the Mike Ferry thing. I know that Agent Summits also, I think, for the next week or so. Links are in the newsletter. Yep. You'll see it tomorrow, or it was in last week's as well. But thank you for joining, and see you next week.
Have a great week. Yep. Bye, everyone.